Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to a warning contains awesome and mature and profane content and profanity. So this is going to be some unboxing for the epic spell. Oh, my camera got out of focus. The epic spell wars of the Battle Wizards Annihilageddon. So the epic spell wizards has the regular card game version. You can check out my videos for those. And then Annihilageddon is the deck building version, which uses the Cerberus engine, which is the same one the DC deck building and some other games like Naruto and Street Fighter use, just for some different variations. But it also brings the crass and crude humor and images from the epic spell wizard games. So like the little warning here says, this has some graphic images and suggestive themes. So if you do not want to see these, this is not safe for a workplace, not good for children. So this is your final warning on that. There's a warning at the beginning of the video before it even started. Warning here, me actually telling you this. So this is the last warning I have on that. Alright, then we're going to hop right into the rest of the content. Hey guys, Jason. Welcome to part 2 of Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Annihilageddon 2 Xtreme Nacho Legends. So if you checked out part 1, or you haven't for some reason, just a brief run over as we went through the quick skimming of the rules. I didn't go through all of them, just kind of the brief idea of what a deck builder was. We went through all of the tokens, read what all the special token abilities do, and then we went through all the wizards and the familiars. So now we are going to jump into the rest of the cards, the chunk of the game. So this is the main deck. All cards will have 2 copies unless otherwise noted, just so I don't have to keep saying 2 of this, 2 of this. So we're going to start with the wizards, which are blue. I love that they also kept the color schemes as much as they kind of could to fit with the DC game, so that they can still be somewhat mixed together. Because in there, they're like the wizards, there should be superheroes. Here they have creatures, which are like super villains. It's kind of neat. They're not a direct one-to-one correlation, but at least the colors, they kept them. But I also love that they added all the symbols in here. So we have ongoing for the Gummy Archmage. And again, this little symbol here is an activation symbol. So normally when you play a card, you do whatever it says. Then you play your next card, and they have to go in order. If they have these activation symbols, you can play this card, and then you can activate that anytime during your turn. So it says, destroy this. If you're a Dingler, you may return to normal, then heal 7 HP. Yeah, so you can play this at the beginning of your turn, and then later, if you became a Dingler, you could destroy it then. Split Nut Ground Pounder. +2 power, attack deals 6 damage to target foe, defense discard this to avoid an attack and draw a card. See if we can get a little bit bigger here, we don't want to like get too out of focus. Wizardo Wormster. +2 power, defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, you may destroy a card in your hand. My favorite part about seeing wizards is hoping that some of these guys might eventually become wizards we can play. Weevil Warlocks. Draw a card, defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, draw a card, and the attacker loses 3 HP. Plus, you might see some of these in one of the other Epic Spell Wizard games, which might be cool. Bling Ryerson, the Insurer. +3 power, destroy the top 3 cards of the main deck. If any mayhems are destroyed this way, you may play one of them to gain 3 power. Slippy Tippy the Peeler. +2 power, attack target foe to your left or right, gains a limp wand. So we got 1 copy of this, which is Rex Drawinger, who's funny because he's shooting Sugar Push. So it's kind of like Sugar Push is like from the last game. He's kind of like the mascot of like cereals. And this guy kind of like the mascot of old Western stuff. He kind of reminds me of Droopy Dog, though. Draw 2 cards. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, draw 2 cards. Lammy the Sacrificer. +2 power, attack. Target foe destroys the top card of the legend deck and takes damage equal to its cost. Cruel Nips, +2 power, attack, deals 7 damage to each foe. So as their power goes up, you can see they're going to get more powerful as their costs, I mean. 1 copy of this. Pimpsbury the Doman. +2 power, attack, deal 4 damage to target foe, heal HP equal to damage dealt. Got 1 copy of Twin Waverings, a Double Dragon reference, which is really funny. It says a Xtreme Nacho chip, and +2 power, attack, deal 3 damage to each foe. And we have 1 copy of War the Robo Wizard, +5 power, there's nothing else. Those are our wizards. Now we're going to look at some creatures. We have the Dingler Mount. Ongoing. Destroy this card. Destroy this. Attack. Target player becomes a Dingler. This is kind of neat because it's ongoing. So it can just sit out. So you can choose whenever to use it. Starving Storkos. +2 power. Activation. If you control another creature, you may destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. The Succulent Succubus. Nacho Chip. And +2 power and activation. If you control another creature, gain an Xtreme Nacho Chip. The Super 6 Satan. Draw a card, attack, deal 7 damage to the foes on your left and right. Generic High Fantasy Orc. I don't know why that names are coming out kind of hard to read on here. +2 power if you control another creature. +2 power. The Sinsquisition. +2 power, activation, attack. If you control another creature, deal 9 damage to target foe. And you see when you're doing like 1, 2 damage, not that big of a deal. You start doing 7 and 9, you only have 20 health. You take 7 or 9 twice, you're almost dead. Alright, so this card's kind of funny. So we have the Huge Blobbies. Ongoing +1 power. But then we have, let's see if I can get that to kind of stick on there. I have to hold these. We have another one. So it has 2 copies, but they go to kind of sort of connected artwork. They're just opposites. Different pictures on there. But yeah. Of course they make a set of Huge Blobbies. Or Bloobies. So that's fun. Little extra thing they did there. I love things like that. We have the Crazy MIB Manning Box. So +2 power, end of game. This is worth 1 VP for each creature in your deck. And then, you know, we can't be discriminatory. So we have the Balls Brothers. So like instead of the Blobbies or the Bloobies, we have the Balls Brothers, which say same effect. So they say +2 power, defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, put another creature in your discard pile into your hand. Yeah, it's just neat about these guys is if you have one, you can discard one for defense to avoid this. Put the other one in your hand. And then if you get attacked again while you still have it, you can discard that, put the other one. So as long as you have both of them, you can discard them. The thing is, when your turn is done, you'll have to discard any ones that are in your hand. So then you'll be, but at least for that one round, you could be invulnerable. We have 1 copy of the Beer Holder, which is funny because it's a beholder, but it's a beer can beholder. +4 power. We have 1 copy of Shaggoth the Flesh Pile. There's Cthulhu back there, all like grossed out. +3 power activation attack. For each creature you control, deal 3 damage to each foe. And then the Sex Squatch. Which I don't remember their names, but these two here and him I know are other wizards that have appeared on cards in I think the base game. Activation +3 power for each creature you control. I'm gonna have to do a video sometime showing all the references from different cards because it's definitely cool. Alright, now we have actual spells, because what would this game be without spells? We have Lo-Fi, you and another player draw a card. The Wolf Cookie Goblin. +2 power attack. Deal 4 damage to target player. They discard a card. Summon Trash. There's President Asshole back there. You may destroy a card in your discard pile. Attack. Deal 5 damage to each foe. Win more. +3 power attack, deal damage to target foe equal to the highest cost card you control. Wizard Waste, ongoing, destroy this card, destroy up to 2 cards in your hand. I love that there's so many extra ongoing cards that let you destroy them. Like compared to like the DC game, the only ongoing cards for the most part were just locations. And then a few defense cards. I like the fact there was more cards that let you do stuff. Hocus Focus Fire. +1 power, reveal the top card of your deck. Destroy it or attack, deal damage to target foe equal to its cost. The Poopal Punishment. +2 power, attack, deal 7 damage to target foe. They avoid this, draw a card. Brainy Storm, draw 2 cards. Don't Give a Shit, reveal the top card of your deck, destroy it, or add + power equal to its cost. That could be definitely powerful. Wish for More Lamps, +3 powers, defense. You may put this on the top of your deck, face up to avoid an attack. So it's, again, very reusable. 1 copy of this, the Friendality. +4 power. The next time you defeat an opponent, you may choose for them not to gain a dead wizard token. In this case, you gain a dead wizard token and a legend. 1 copy of Dinglish. Dinglish-ish. +3 power, gaining an Xtreme Nacho chip for each player who is a Dingler. So that's the end of our spells. Then we have some treasures. We have 1 copy of these right here. So we have Dead Fred. When you play this game, an Xtreme Nacho chip for each ongoing Dead Wizard token. Ongoing, this counts as a Dead Wizard token. It's kind of neat. Like, just extra ways to gain bonus for being dead. We have Dead Zed. It should be the same exact effect, just different names. So we have Dead Reg, Dead Ned, and Dead Jed. Alright, then the rest of these treasures we have 2 copies of. So we have the Xtreme Nacho Wand. +2 power, you may pay 1 Xtreme Nacho chip to attack target. Deal 10 damage to target foe. It's like half their health. That's crazy. Mega Merch limited edition t-shirt. Pay 2 power. You pay 2 less to buy legends this turn. The Golden Parachute. +1 power. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, gain 2 Xtreme Nacho chips. Idol of the Lucky Bitch. +2 power. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, draw a card and gain 1 Xtreme Nacho chip. The Helm of Horror. Pay 2 power. You may pay 1 Xtreme Nacho chip to destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. Balzor's Ultimate Cup. Pay 1 power. You may reveal this from your hand to pay 1 HP and 1 Xtreme Nacho chip to defense, avoiding attack. The Witchwort. Draw a card, +1 power for each ongoing effect. Concentrated Evil. +3 power. The Wand of Poser Punishing. +2 power attack. Deal 2 damage to target foe. Steal Xtreme Nacho chips from them or the supply equal to the damage dealt. On these final treasures, we only have 1 copy of each. So we have 1 Dingleberry Wand. +3 power attack. Deal 5 damage to target player. If you defeat them this way, they become a Dingler. The Factula Mobile. It's Fat Dracula. +3 power. If this is the first card you play this turn, you may discard your hand and draw 4 cards. What's also fun about this card is this is a direct reference to the Batmobile from the DC game, which does the same effect. The Not Live Stripper Pole. +2 power for each dead wizard token you control. Alright, then we have a bunch of locations. So in the original game, the locations were the areas from the other games. So just some other ones are referencing for here. The Limp Tower of Power. When you gain this card, gain 2 Limp Wands. Ongoing +1 power. The Dirty Wand. Wand Polishing. Your wands that deal damage deal +2 damage. Each time you play a wand, +1 power. The Hall of Legends Gift Shop. Ongoing, when you gain legends, you may put them on top of your deck. The Palm of the Creator. Ongoing, +1 hand size. And the Dingling Brothers Circus. Ongoing, if you're a Dingler, +2 power. End of the game, your Dingler. VIP penalty bonuses become... your penalties become bonuses instead. So that could definitely be great, especially if you get that other card that also doubles it, the Dead Wizard token, because then you'd have -5, then -10, so that should give you +10 at the end of the game. Alright, then we have other cards that get mixed in, which are called Mayhem cards. So Mayhem, you basically draw them, they activate an event that does a bunch of stuff, and then they go away. So on the bottom here, they're going to have numbers and letters. So 2A means this is for set 2, this is card number A. This is just so you can tell them apart quicker, because they all have the same art. You can keep track of which ones you have. So we have Attack. Each player loses HP equal to the highest cost card in their hand. Each player reveals a random card in their hand. They may destroy it, or they may pay 2 HP to re-randomize the card revealed. Each player may repeat this until they destroy a card. Each player may lose half their Xtreme Nacho chips rounded down. Each player who destroys a card in their hand or discard pile. I'm going to zoom in on these. We're not as worried about the art, but we can read the text. Each player chooses their foe to gain an Xtreme Nacho chip. Put an Xtreme Nacho chip on each card in the lineup. When a player gains one of these cards, they gain the Xtreme Nacho chip. Attack. The players with the least HP become a Dingler, then heals to max, which is 15. A player gains Xtreme Nacho chip, then destroy and refill the legendary lineup. Destroying that legendary card makes a big difference because the game runs out when they run out. Each player who isn't a Dingler gains an Xtreme Nacho chip. Each player votes for one player. The player who receives the highest number of votes becomes a Dingler. Attack. Deal 5 damage to each player. Now this says attack, so you can still avoid it with like a regular defense card. Attack. Each player discards half their ongoing cards rounded up. Each player discards their deck, then destroys half of their discard pile. Oh boy. Each player gains 2 Xtreme Nacho chips, then attack. Each player loses 1 HP for each of their Xtreme Nacho chips. Each player may destroy a card in their hand or discard pile. Dinglers must pay 3 HP to do this. Each player must discard their hand or draw 5 cards, or lose 5 HP. Each Dingler may pay 5 HP or an Xtreme Nacho chip to return to normal. Each player may set their HP to 10 to gain the Xtreme Nacho chip. Destroy the legendary lineup, refill it until it has 4 cards. The standard tap remains 3, so once you buy one, you don't replace it. Each player discards 2 of the top cards in their deck and chooses to destroy both or neither of these cards. And then the last one is, starting with the active player, each player chooses to fold or bet. Players who choose bet reveal their hands. The player with the highest combined cost of cards draws 2 cards. Each other player who bet discards their hand. Ooh, that's a fun gamble. Alright. So then the last thing we have for this video is the legendary cards. Now, these are half promo cards because you'll get all these cards in the set no matter what. But the Kickstarter version has foil versions, which are actually kind of neat because they do foil the entire card, but they really highlight certain parts. You can see just his wand there is highlighted. Now, I'm not going to sit here and show off the highlights on all the cards. Hopefully you can see them all, but we'll jump through it. Now, these guys have really expensive costs, which is the thing. So we're actually starting with the highest cost we're going on. So they have 20. But they give you 7 VP, but they're definitely great. So this is a legend as well as a treasure card. The ultimate winner's wand, 8 power. Attack, deal 1 damage to target foe. If you defeat them this way, you win the game. Everyone else can suck it. The ultimate vortex of fuckery, a location. Ongoing, the first time you deal damage to an attack each turn, plus power equal to the total damage dealt. Saint Shredding Frog, plus 5 power, attack. Target foe gains 2 Dead Wizard tokens from outside the game. This attack can't be redirected back at you, but can still be avoided. Xtreme Nacho Annihilageddon Arena. Ongoing, your attacks deal double damage to foes. Deal with the Devil. Plus 6 power, destroy any number of cards in your discard pile. Mr. Bun, the Rogue Familiar. Draw 3 cards, attack, deal 20 damage to each foe. The Epic Heist. I really hope we get some of those wizards. They look fun. Draw 2 cards, activation. If you control 11 or more cards, peek at the top 5 cards of the legend deck. Put one on top of your deck, return the rest in any order. The Commando's Gatling Gun. 4 attacks. So attack, deal 7 damage to target player. You got 4 times. And then plus 3 power for each kill made with this card. Now, some of these are crazy. Like, if you got lucky and combine this with the Annihilageddon Arena, where everything's damaged, that's 14 damage to each player. Like, just think about how crazy some of these combos could be. The Merry Reaper instead of the Grim Reaper. So I do love that her hand is a glowing skeleton. Plus 4 power, attack. Give 1 of your Dead Wizard tokens to target player. They resolve it. The Orbital Wiz Adelaide Strike. Plus 5 power, attack, deal 10 damage to the foes on your left and right. The Gingling Brothers. Plus 3 power, defense. Discard this to avoid an attack and draw 3 cards. If a Gingler attacks you, redirect the attack to them. Dr. Continuum and Little Farty. So, of course, a Doc Brown and Marty reference. Back to the Future. Plus 1 power. When you gain this card from any lineup this turn, you may put them in your hand. The Limp Wand. Plus 4 power. Attack. Deal 7 damage to target player. If you defeat them this way, you may give them up to 3 Limp Wands from your hand or discard pile or the Limp Wand stack. Viagra's the Hard Lord. Ongoing, at the start of your turn, you may gain a limp wand into your hand. When you play a limp wand, +3 power. End of the game, your limp wands are a positive VP instead of negative. Polymorph Dingler. Draw 2 cards, attack, target player becomes a Dingler, then you get +1 power for each Dingler. Papa Boner's Pylon. Ongoing, +1 power for each Dead Wizard token. Party at Riley. Each player draws 2 cards. Unavoidable attack. Each foe discards 2 random cards, take damage equal to their combined cost. The Immortality Combatant. +4 power, attack, kill target foe, select the Dead Wizard token they gain from among 3, return the other 2. Just straight up kill someone. The Throne of Fuckery. Ongoing attack, deal damage to target foe equal to the cost of another card you control. Death for Lunch. If you have no Dead Wizard tokens, +7 power. Otherwise, you may destroy one of your Dead Wizard tokens. There's a shark in there. Goldie the Goose. +1 power, +2 VP for each legend you control. Or you own, sorry. Lady Gorgie the Delicious Dead. +4 power, attack, deal 4 damage to each foe for each of your Dead Wizard tokens. My Bodyguard of Legend. Draw 2 cards and gain 2 Xtreme Nacho Chips. Defense. Discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, draw 2 cards and gain 2 Xtreme Nacho Chips. Facula's Snack Cart. Ongoing, each time you damage a foe on your turn, heal that much HP. When you're at max HP, +2 hand size. Blisterina, the Queen of Genital Harpies. +3 power, attack, each foe gains 2 limp wands. I like he's hanging out with Stevie there. Plus references to other games, of course. The Single Biting, Hellraiser reference. Draw 2 cards, choose an opponent, they can't use defense abilities this turn. The Lucky Double-Headed Dingler, activation, double your power. Bartholomew Black Bart, +2 power, attack, reveal the top 4 cards of target foe's deck and play one of them, then discard all 4 cards. You are considered to control the played card this turn. Scruffy Twatter's Elder Wand, +3 power, attack, deal 10 damage to the foe on your left or right. If this defeats them, make the attack against the next foe in the same direction. Explovio, the Diarrheomancer. Oh, the Goldie Goose back there. I didn't even realize that's who that was. +2 power, destroy a random legend in the legendary lineup, attack, deal damage equal to its cost to each foe. Plankasia Snatcher, +4 power, attack, you may swap the HP and or Diggler status with target player. Heart of the Battle Wizard, limited edition. Draw a card, gain 3 Xtreme Nacho Chips, end of the game. If this card was in an epic Spell War sleeve, +2 VP. Sad Providence of the Peat Farm, ongoing, nothing. This is a reference to Dominion, which is one of the original deck building games out there. So that was all of our main Legend cards. Again, the foils are only for the Kickstarter exclusives, so if you just get the regular retail edition, they won't be foiled. Then we have a bunch of Mega Mayhem cards, which we're going to actually go over right now. I love the different artwork on there. So the Mega Mayhem have M on there, and then letters instead of numbers. They get mixed into the Legendary deck. just to help beef that deck up. And I love that all the different legendary cards on there. There's Mr. Bun, the Reaper, Gentle Harpies, Plantasia, and Single Biting. Yeah, basically they're awesome Mayhem cards. So attack. Deal damage to each player equal to the highest cost legend in the lineup. So that's like 18, 20 damage, easily. Attack. Each player gains 3 limp wands in their hand. Each player gains Xtreme Nacho chips for each Dead Wizard token. Attack. Each player becomes a Dingler. If you are already a Dingler, return to normal. Attack. Each player sets their HP to 5. Attack. Each player destroys the top card of the main deck. If a player destroys a Mayhem this way, they die. And each player may play an ongoing card to destroy a card in their hand or discard pile. Each player that is not a Dingler may choose both. So these cards added with the other Mayhem cards end up being 26. So they did that in the first set too. They had 26 of them. So they had letters A through Z. So the regular set has A through S, and then this adds the rest, essentially the rest of the alphabet. So there's 26 of each, which is really cool. Alright, then we are going to really quickly go over the other Kickstarter promo cards. This one will basically going to be a little bit longer than the last one. This just adds more legendary characters that got added in. So, again, these cards can be used as anything, any other game. So this is Scrog the Narbarian. And Scrog has... I didn't have any of these prepped like I should have. He gets... So on the bottom here, these are all going to say promos. So these are Kickstarter exclusive ones. But they just list them as promos on there. So we have Gimby the Goblin Gimp. Plus 5 power, takes 6 damage. Defense, reveal this and takes 6 damage to avoid an attack. We have Daigon. The Deep Doom. So you have Daigon to go with Cthulhu. He was the other Elder God we've got to play as. And what separates things about Cthulhu's Ball. The Leviathan Seed. When this enters your hand, if you are not the card's owner, immediately lose 20 HP and shuffle it into the owner's deck. Plus 3 power defense. Discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, you may place it into the attacker's discard pile and draw 3 cards. Everyone's favorite hated card, President Asshole. There's a lot of issue with this in the first game when he was on 1 card, so they made him into a playable character. The Turglings. Plus 1 power, you may destroy a card in your hand with a cost of 1 or more. If you do, gain a card in the lineup to the top of the deck. Defense. Discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, you may pass a card in your hand or discard pile to the attacker's hand. Candy Cadaver, your Cardinal Corpse. So she actually gets a really fun one. So she gets a familiar that's a location. The Scared Stiff Club. Not live nudes. Air conditioned. It's funny. Ongoing, this counts as 2 Dead Wizard tokens. Defense. Discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, draw a card, reveal a random Dead Wizard token in the supply. You may resolve its effect against the attacker. They don't gain the token. Jenny Jellybean and the Relics of Extinction. Little tiny girl, a little pet squirrel who's just straight up murdering people. She actually gets 2 cards, which is really neat. So she gets the Tomb of Nil. Plus 3 power. Defense. Discard this to avoid an attack and draw a card. If you avoided your own attack from a wand this way, destroy this and gain Nil, Void God of Infinite Suffering. Yes, if you attack yourself, you can avoid it. And then you gain, open up the door, the tomb, and you get, hey, it's the guy from the cover. Nil, Void God of Infinite Suffering. Plus 7 power, defense. Put this on the bottom of your deck to avoid an attack and draw 2 cards. If you do, redirect the attack to the attacker twice. Wixar, the Witch King. This guy's just straight up creepy. They had some guest artist duties. I unfortunately don't remember their names off the top of my head. If I remember, I'll try and list them when I post the video. I may forget. Wolf Eye of Wixar. Plus 3 power. If this is the first card you have played, discard your hand to gain an additional 4 power. Defense. Discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, you may discard your hand and draw 5 cards. Agony Ant. Who has Pussy the Whipped. Each foe may pass a card in your hand, plus 3 power for each card received. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, you may destroy exactly 2 cards in your hand or discard pile. Mazkar, Nimbus, Eternal, the Doggo Daddy. Just, crazy artwork here. And then we have Doggo the Grim. When this is in your discard pile, each time you gain a Dead Wizard token, negate it, immediate effect. You are still affected by ongoing abilities. Plus 3 power. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, draw a card. And our final new wizard is the Token Sack, the Weed Smoking Ches Demon. Based off the game, of course. And then we have the Munchies. Each player must pass you an Xtreme Nacho chip if able. If you receive 0 Xtreme Nacho chips, you may take 3 from the general supply. Defense, discard this or reveal this and pay 3 Xtreme Nacho chips to avoid an attack and draw a card. Also, just to point out, so they do have promo listed on their cards right there. So, maybe back all the way back to the first one. So that way you can tell which wizards are promos and which ones weren't. Then the last 5 cards we got are familiars for older characters from the original Epic Spell Wars games. So we have for Hogs the House Wizard, we have Tiny the Pet Wizard. So this lets you bring them other characters in there with their own specific familiars, which is fun. Plus 2 power, you may put a spell from your discard pile on top of your deck. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If the attacker is stronger than you, set your HP to match yours. Palsenka, your feedbag friend. Choose a random card in your discard pile. You may destroy it to gain twice its cost and power. If you decline, plus 3 power instead. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack. If you do, draw a card and heal HP equal to the amount of damage that would have been dealt. This is for Embryonisk, the Archmage of the Future. This one was for Sloppy Joe and the Cafeteria Conjurer. Spoiled Milk and the Terror Tots. Plus 3 power attack. Choose a foe, they draw 1 fewer cards at the end of their next turn. If they accidentally draw that card and you call them out before the end of the turn after, you defeat them. Defense, discard this to avoid an attack and draw a card. If you do, the attack is redirected to the attacker. Kind of an interesting little gimmick there. The Candy Commando is for Granny Flufferbutter, the Sweetest Witch. Plus 3 power, attack set all players' HP to 10. Defense, you may discard this to avoid an attack and draw a card. If your HP is 10 or less, you may set your HP to 20. And then our final promo familiar for Wando the Living Wand, we have Hando the Living Hand. Attack power +3, attack. Each opponent discards a wand. You may play each wand discarded this way. Defense, you may discard this to avoid an attack and draw a card. If the attack was a wand, immediately play it, targeting any player. Alright. So that is what we have for those. Alright, so that is what we have for Annihilageddon 2, the Xtreme Nacho Legends. So you can check out Annihilageddon 1 to see the original cards there. You can check out the Kickstarter exclusive expansion, which we'll also do a video for. Gang Bangers. So if you want to see what's in there, in case you find that online somewhere secondhand. Or check out any other Epic Spell Wizards of the Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards games. That's such a mouthful to say. And see all the original content and where some of this came from, and the newer videos that are coming out. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.